Hi, good morning.
I'm just sharing my desktop to all of you. Okay, so just continue with the last class. So last class we have seen the creation of asset master record. Uh, we have discussed about various aspects about the creating of asset master record. Let me do one more. Let me do one more time how to create an asset master record, and then we'll do one posting like acquisition of an asset, that is purchase of an asset, and we'll calculate the depreciation for the asset. So So the transaction code here is for creating an asset master record is AS01. So this is the path accounting. You have to go to the financial accounting and we need to come to the fixed assets. From the fixed assets, go to the assets. And here there is the option called as the create. Now here we need to go with AS01. AS01 is the transaction code we are using for the creating of an asset master record. If you double click on it, so as I told you in the last class, so whenever, okay, if you want to create any asset master record, if you want to create any main asset master record, the reference of the asset master record should be created with the reference of asset class. So under which asset class this particular asset master record you're supposed to be creating? Are you creating a buildings? Are you creating a plant and machinery? Are you creating some other like furniture, fixtures or vehicles? So the reference should be taken as an asset class here. So these are the asset classes which we are going to be see over here. So these are the list of the asset classes. So and my dear friends, as I promised you with all of you, okay, so uh, the list of the transaction codes which I supposed to give, so already I have completed all the list of the preparation, so I'll be giving you by tomorrow. So what are all the complete list of the transaction codes which are available in SAP, and what are all the transaction codes have been moved to the Fury which cannot be accessed to the GUI. So some of the transactions you need to work with the SAP Fury. So what are those transaction codes, and okay, and what are all the transaction codes which are available both in GUI and in SAP Fury. So I already prepared the list, so I'll be giving you the list by tomorrow. So just this is just like a heads up. Okay, so I'm just taking the company code 5500. So these are the list of the asset classes you can see here. These are the list of the asset classes where you can see here the list. These are going to be, so under this list, okay, under which asset class you are going to be supposed to be creating. For example, if I'm taking an asset class, okay, so I'm taking an asset class, okay, okay, so I'm taking an asset class like I want to create a building, or I want to create a machinery equipment, whichever the asset class. So you have to take the reference. This reference is very important. Under which company code you're creating. So company code is the mandatory. So these are the number of similar assets I'm creating because I have only one similar asset I'm giving. If you want to create an asset with the reference of any other assets which previously you created, so I don't want to create a new one with the taking of a new option. So I just want to create an asset with the reference of the old asset, which is very similar to this. So you can take the reference. If you are not supposed, okay, if you're not going to, if you don't want to create an asset with the reference, just leave it all the fields as a blank. Now press enter. Because I'm not talking any reference here, so I'm just putting out here. So this is my spinning machine. I'm creating the spinning machine. Spinning machine. So this is nothing but my asset. So this is nothing but my asset. So the serial number, everything, okay, if you have the serial number of this particular asset number, so there will be, every machine will have a serial number. So your production department people are going to give the particular serial number. So you need to enter the serial number if it is required. And inventory number, everything will be given. And what is the quantity? Quantity, if you're creating this particular asset through the asset master record, through the PO, then you have to give the number of quantity here. But here we are creating all the assets as a manually. So the capitalization date, at what date you want to take the capitalization? Capitalization date is nothing but when the asset has been put to use. So I want to take 01/01/2019 is nothing but my capitalization date when the asset has been put to use. So once the asset has been sold out to a customer, automatically the deactivation date will come over here, because no more the asset transactions are going to be happened, because now the useful life the asset has been completed. Now you have been sold this asset to a customer. So now once the asset has been sold to a customer, okay, so the date which the date which you have taken for the sale of asset, that the date will be as a deactivation date. And if I go to the time dependent, see here in the time dependent, here we have the several, like okay, if you want to create, okay, if you want to maintain this particular plant and machinery for which plant, okay, so which plant you want to take, what is the location, what is the room, everything we are going to be. And here you are going to give the profit center, because every plant will have a, okay, every plant is nothing but a profit center. To under which profit center, these are the required, okay. So a cost center is nothing but, okay, so under which cost center the cost has to be booked, okay, so your cost center is going to be taken here. So everything, so here these are the details where we are going to be taking, where these are the details you are going to be taking for the account assignment purpose. Origin is not required. Why? Because origin, we are not going to take any origin here. Okay, origin is nothing but, okay, who is the vendor? Okay, so when I am procuring this asset actually, so when you are creating, okay, so when I'm raising a purchase order, so this is the normal, okay, so whenever we are procuring an asset from the purchase order, through the purchase order process, through the cycle, so this origin details are going to be updated. Like for example, okay, who is the vendor, from whom the vendor, from whom the this asset has been procured, so who is the manufacturer, everything, the origin details are going to be, okay, acquired over here. So if you are creating manually like this, we are creating a manual asset here. So with the use of the asset reference class, so origin details are not going to be updated. Why? Because we are not procuring through the purchase order, we are creating them as a manually. And depreciation areas, so these are the depreciation keys. So if you want to change the useful life, you can change the useful life. Like by default, the useful life will come from the depreciation key. By default, it will come from the from the asset depreciation areas. If you want to change, we can change the useful life. Like useful life, we use nothing but, okay, how many years the asset has to be worked. Okay, so that is the useful life. And here I am starting the depreciation from 01/01/2019. So 01/01/2019 is nothing but your ordinary depreciation start date. So from which date you want to start the depreciation. So this is very, very important here. So now these are the two main depreciation areas which has to be posted in the real time. These are the two main depreciation areas which you are supposed to be posted in the real time. So for the both of them, I want to start the ordinary depreciation start date should be on 01/01/2019. Okay, 01/01/2019 is nothing but, so you can see here these are going to be the value of the assets which are going to be posted, like okay, this is the main asset or main depreciation area. Now you can see it. Now you can see here, this is the asset master record which we have created. Now you can see here the asset 105-0 is created. So here if you observe very carefully, this 105 is the asset number, the 105 is the main asset number, and the 0, the followed with 0 is nothing but a sub asset. Why? Because now we are not creating the sub asset, we are creating the main asset. So here, whenever you want to create any sub asset, the sub asset has to be created with the reference of main asset. So there are 4 principles I told that you should never forget. One is the main asset master record is created with the reference of asset class. Okay, very, very important. The main asset master record always should be created with the reference of asset class, and the sub-asset master is created with the reference of main asset. So until or unless if you doesn't get this main asset number, you cannot create the sub-asset. So now here you can see the sub-asset number is 0. Why? Because we are creating the main asset. If the sub-asset is showing with many value, see, now I'll take the reference. Now I'll create one sub-asset with the reference of this. See here. Now 1050 is the main asset. Now I'll go and create the sub-asset now. Now here, if you want to create the subasset, you need to come to the subasset number. And here AS11 is the transaction code. AS11 is the transaction code. Now here you can see here. So the subasset master always created with the reference of the main asset number. Now just now we have created this main asset. So 105 is nothing but your main asset. See, for example, what are going to be the subassets? See, for example, I have a machinery. I have a main machinery equipment like a spinning machine. Under the spinning machine, there are some assets are there. There are some other machines are there, like very small machines which are very low asset value. The value of the subassets are very less than like $1,000 or maybe $500. So I just don't want to create them as a main asset. I want to create the main asset as a spinning machine. And all these subassets, all these whatever the small machines are there, I just want to create them as a subassets, not as a main asset. So these all are going to be assembled to the main machine. These all are going to be assembled to the main machine. So under which main machine, under which main asset you want to create all those subassets. So this is what exactly I'm taking the reference of the main asset number. So if you see here, the main asset number is 105. Now here, if I press enter, now here, spinning machine, okay, so here I can write here, okay, spare parts. So this is nothing but the spare parts, okay, so the one of the spare parts which I'm using here, water maybe, so this is nothing but my subasset. Now everything, the details are getting automatically copied from the main asset number. Why? Because you are taken the reference of the main asset here. You're taken the reference of the main asset. By default, you can see here all the details. All the details will be copied from the main asset. See here, all the details will be copied from the main asset. Now, after you create this, if you go and see, if I go and save the master data, now here you can see here. Now it was 1051 was created. 105 is the main asset and 1 is nothing but the subasset. You can see here 105 is the main asset and 1 is the subasset. So you have two assets. One is the main asset, that is 105, and you have a subasset, that is 1051. This is the subasset. So you can create as many as subassets with the reference of the main asset number, because we don't expect that, okay, we can't predict that these are going to be the limited number of assets for the subasset. So you can have multiple subassets with the reference of one main asset. So that is what exactly we are going to be seeing over here. So this is how we are going to be creating the asset master record. So there will be different master records will be there. GL master record, vendor master record, customer master record. In the same way, we have, this is the asset master record over here. So once you create this asset master record, yes, I created the asset master record. Now I want to procure. There are two procure procedures are there. One is, after you create this asset, you can procure this asset through the cycle. That is, we can raise the purchase order. In the purchase order, we are going to be taking the account assignment category as a A. As I told you in my previous class also, we have seen, like for example here, /NME21N. See here. See, if I give the vendor account number, I'm giving the purchase organization, I'm giving the company code, so which purchase group you are going to be creating. So I'll give the item 001, 10 is the first item, and here this is what exactly we call it as the account assignment. See here, this account assignment, okay, so the account assignment is nothing but here we are going to be taking as A because we are procuring the asset. Here the account assignment category always should be taken as A here.
like the system is running very slow.
Yeah, so yesterday also I experienced the same actually. So I need to give a very good complaint to that. Okay, again the system has become very down. Uh, and here I brought something to all of you. Okay, so this is what exactly I just want to show here. Uh, no, not this one. This is the cash management. I'll give that. I just brought something about the custom code here. This is what exactly, and this is what new in SAP S4HANA. I just downloaded that. Okay, so now here, this is the 1809 release. So what are the new aspects in SAP S4HANA? So when you see in SAP S4HANA, when I go to the asset accounting, so when you see this asset accounting, when you compare with 1709 with the 1809, if I want to see what are the new enhancements which have been done in asset accounting, so if you click on this asset accounting, so something like subsequent implementation of depreciation area, by fulfilling the particular requirement, you can implement a new depreciation area in the existing depreciation after the go live. See earlier what happened, so earlier what happened, we cannot introduce a new depreciation area once the system is under the go live process. So now SAP has been given you the option now from the 1809, even after you go for a go live also, you can create a new depreciation area. You can create a new depreciation area in the existing depreciation after you go for the go live. So this is what exactly we call it as subsequent implementation of depreciation area. So here, these are the some of the details here. So generally, you should define all the necessary depreciation areas before the go live date. If you have a special requirement as an exemption, you can implement a new depreciation area in the existing valuation after the go live date also. See, for example, here, if you see here, if I see the asset master record, okay, so I'll tell you. Okay, now I'll take you to. Now these are the categories. Now you can see these are the account assignment categories. Now what my people are going to do? So you are procuring an asset. You are creating. Okay, because you're procuring a spinning machine. You're procuring a drilling machine from some other vendor. So I'll take the account assignment category as A. So you're taking the account assignment category here. So I taken the account assignment category. So my people, what they will do? They will create a material. So this is the material. So I'm taking one material. The material, okay, because for the transaction purpose they require the material number. So for us it is the asset number, for them it is going to be the material number for them, because we are going to be procuring that asset. Okay, so for every machine there will be a material will be there. So I'm just taking this material number. So just let me take through the I'll take through the plant. Okay, 1710. So I'll take one material. I think there doesn't have any material over here. No, till now they have, because it is a very refresh system. Okay, so okay, we can give the material number. Once you give the material number over here, now here the system is going to ask, okay, because you have taken the account assignment category as a A. You have taken the account assignment category as a A here. So if you come to the account assignment here, if you click on this account assignment tab here in the item category, so here it is going to ask the asset number. See here, what is the quantity? What is the quantity? How many quantity you are procuring? This quantity will be get updated in the asset master record automatically. And which asset you want to procure? Just now we have created that asset number is 105. So that asset number I will give here. So that asset number I will give here. This is the serial number. The serial number will be entered here. This is what exactly we call it as the serial number. Okay, now if I go into the asset master record /O EAS03, if I go into the asset master record, okay, if you see here, this is what exactly the serial number, and what is the quantity you are going to be. This now, because we are procuring this asset as a manually, now there will be no quantities getting updated. Now your serial number and the quantity will be getting updated. Why? Because this is the asset I want to procure, because the asset value has to be triggered from the purchase order. Now here the serial number and here this is the quantity you're going to be giving. So this is all the details. So we need to give this asset number to the material management people so that they will use this asset number. So whenever they are procuring any material, whenever they are procuring this particular asset from the external vendor, so he is nothing but a vendor. See here, he is nothing but a vendor. These vendor details will be get updated in this origin. So if you see this origin, from whom origin is nothing but it will give the details about from whom the particular vendor has been, who is the vendor who has supplied this material to me. So the vendor details will be get updated here. Okay, so automatically, so this is what exactly the procurement. So here this is the account assignment category A. So all the procurement of the fixed assets will coming under the account assignment category A. So under you take this category A, so you need to provide the asset number. So once you give the asset number, once this particular asset has been raised, once the PO has been raised, now you can see all the vendor details over here. You can see all the vendor details over here, and you can see the vendor quantity and asset quantity and everything. So these are the two types. One is you can create manually without any reference of the purchase order, or you can create the asset master record. You can create the asset master record and you can procure this asset through the cycle. So these are the two things. So once I created the asset, once I have created the asset, so what exactly you're going to do? So I'm going to raise the purchase order. So I'm going to raise the purchase order with the reference of the purchase order. My people, what they're going to do, they're going to do the goods receipt. Goods receipt. Once the goods receipt has been done, so you have to raise the invoice. So once the invoice has been completed, so you can see the value in the asset master. So this is the invoice. So we can call it as the invoice. So we are raising an invoice. So after you complete this invoice, so your MM procurement cycle has been completed. This is through the purchase order. Now, if you don't want to purchase or if you don't want to procure the assets, now you can do directly here. So there is a transaction code called as F-90 in SAP, where you're going to procure, where you're going to acquire this asset through the vendor through this transaction code here. So let me go and acquire this asset now. Now, if I go back, /n, F-90 is the transaction code. F-90 is the transaction code. Now give the date. So 01/01/2019, I'm giving the date. So here the document type should be AA. And what is the posting date? 01/01/2019. Yeah, I'm procuring this asset in first period. So I'm writing here asset acquisition. Asset acquisition. So this is just a reference and the header text I'm giving here. I'm procuring this asset from the vendor. Okay, now, okay, 31. 31 is nothing but you need to credit the vendor. Why? Because the asset is getting procured from the vendor. So who is the vendor? Now just select here. Now, if I select the company coach, you can see he's the vendor. So I'm giving the vendor account number. See here, this is the vendor account number. Okay. Now, if you press enter, because I given the posting key as a 31, now it will take you to the credit screen. The 31 is the credit of the vendor. 31 is always will be the credit of the vendor. So I'm creating the vendor. Now, if I press enter, okay, now I need to open the posting period variant. Okay, so posting 001 is not open. So what I have to do here, okay, /O. OB52 is the transaction because posting period. Okay, I'll go to the, okay, what posting period variant? 5500, because I'm creating this asset, I'm procuring this asset in the month of January. In the month of January, so the system is giving an error message. Now we are in the month of February. So posting period 001 means January period for 2019 not open for the variant. So it was not opened actually. So what I have to do here now, I need to go to what is the transaction code? OB52. OB52 is the transaction code where I need to open the period because I'm doing in the last month, not in the current month. So I need to open the period. So under which variant? 5500. 5500. Okay. If you see here, So 1 to, because he has given as the 18, so I just want to change it to 19 because we are doing the transactions from the 19th. Okay, so I'm just giving the date 19. Okay, so I'm giving a period 1 to 12 because all the periods I'm opening here. So let me save it. Now I've opened for the 19th period, 19th year, 2019. So from January to December, all the periods have been kept as opened. Okay, now I press enter. So what is again, okay. Okay, in the company code 5500, the number range 01 is missing for the 2019. So what is happening here? So we are taking this asset. So these are the very good examples actually in the real time or somewhere. If you are doing a practice also, this is going to play the vital role. Okay, so make sure that these are going to be the errors you are going to be resolving. So again, what is another error in the company code because I taken the company code as a 5500. You can see here 5500. The number range 01 is missing for the year 2019. So let me go to the number range now. Now let me go to the document type because I've taken the AA. So I want to go to the document types. What is the transaction code? OBA7 is the transaction code. OBA7. If I go to the OBA7, here you can see, okay, here I've taken the document type as the AA. Okay, now I'm selecting the AA. Now I'm just clicking on details. Here you can see the details option here. So in this particular document type, which number range we have assigned? In this particular document range, we have assigned the number range as a 01. So here the same error is coming here. So the company code 5500, the number range 01 is missing for the 2019. So if I click on number range information, I'm giving the company code now. Okay. Now, after you give the company code, click on change intervals, because if you go and see here, we have to, in the OP52 we have opened the 2019 fiscal year, not the 2018. So we need to change here the number range. Now here for 2018 it is available. See 01 for 2018 it is available, but I want to open for 2019. So if I want to open, because this is the year-end closing activities, once you complete the December month, before you go for the 2019 for the year of 2019. So these are the year-end closing activities. We need to copy all this and we have to change the year to 2019. See here, I'm just copying this and okay. Now what I have to do here? Now I need to change the year to 2019 here. So how do I do the change here? Now what I will do here, just go back. There is a copy button is there. Copy. If you want to change it from the company code to company code, hey Mahesh, we have a new company code. I want to copy the same number range. 6600 is the new company code. Here you can copy what are all the number ranges you have defined. What are all the number ranges you have defined for the 5500? You can copy all these number ranges to the 6600 instead of creating a new one. So this is called as a copy option. Now what I will do here, now go to the change intervals. I'm not doing the copy from one company code to another company code. I have to do the changes within the same company code. So I need to click on the change intervals. Very, very important. So here, this is the option which is called as the insert interval. You can see here, I want to insert a new line. For the same number range, but not for the 2018. For the 2019, I want to insert a new line. So here, this is an option. You just click on insert interval. See, the new line has come. I take 01. Now here I am going to be taking it as 2019. Why? Because if you see the 01 is for the 2018. Now I have opened a year for 2019 now. So I need to define the number ranges for 2019, not for 2018, because 2018 fiscal year has already been closed. Now I will copy the same number ranges. I'll copy the same number ranges. Okay. Now you can do 100 postings, from 1 to 100 postings. Now if I press enter, now I can save it. So these are the activities. So once you completed all the year-end closing activities, so before you go for a new year, so your end user, or okay, you have to explain the end user that this is the procedure where you have to create the number ranges for the 2019. So this is the where you are going to. So now I created the number range for 2019. 2018 is completed. So don't delete it. Now the 2019, just you have to copy the same number range and you have to change the fiscal year to 2018 to 19 and copy the same number ranges here. Why? Because we are not changing here. We are only changing the fiscal year.
So this is the year dependent, Mahesh?
Year dependent. Why I'm telling here is, see here, because there are two things we need to understand. One is because we are closing the fiscal year of 2018. 2018 Jan to December has been completed. Now we are doing the transaction in the month of January 2019. How the system knows that which year transactions are getting posted? So what I've done, the first thing, I have gone to the OB52 and there I changed the year from 2018 to 2019. If we are doing the transactions in 2018, no need to change anything because already the periods are open and already the number ranges are already been defined. But you're changing the year, you're doing the year end closing activities. So in this case, so not only you're doing the changes in OB52, that is opening the fiscal year, you're supposed to do all this kind of, whatever the number ranges you have created for 2018, now you need to define for the 2019. So this is completely at the company code level, not at the client level. Yes, sir?
Yeah, this is very clear. Thanks, Mahesh. But can we make a number ranges independent, not a year dependent, instead of year dependent?
No. We have to do it as a year dependent only, not an year independent. But how the system knows to which year you're posting the transactions? Tell me one thing. Today I'm posting one vendor invoice, sir. Let us assume that today you're posting a vendor invoice, sir. Now. Okay, so today I am posting some manual vendor invoice. So today date is going to be the 19 to 2019 example. How the system knows that this is the year and this is the date you are going to be posting to a vendor invoice. So always the number ranges should be at the year dependent, not as a year dependent, not as a year independent, sir.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now I'm saving here. Now let me go whether any errors are going to be whether I've seen now this error has been rectified. Now I define the number range 01. You can see here. Now I define the number range 01 for the year, which year it is asking me for the 2019. So for the 2019 I had defined here. Okay,
Mahesh,
now
just one quick question, Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
That a number which is in 2018 we will get, for example, number 1. 2019 also we will get number 1, right? So why
yes, sir. Why? Because see, within the same year, if you are creating the number ranges within the same year, see, for example, sir, I'll give one example like this. Okay, see here. I'll give one example. So, sir, you have the ACA, you have the care.
No, I got that point, but what I'm trying to ask you is, sequentially, we are not moving from one sequence to another. We are repeating that sequence in the next year, right?
Exactly.
Is there any way we can get out of that? For example, after 100, can we use 101 or something like that?
You can use it, sir. You can use it, but make sure that. Okay. So here you are taken from 1 to 100, no, sir. So So now if the next number range is not starting with 101, okay, see here already. If you see the 23 number range here. So okay, for the 2000, let us assume that this is the 2019 example I'm taking. This is the 2019. But here, if you see here, the number range 01, I started with 1 to 100, but for the number range 23, I have taken the sequential number from 101 to 200. Means already the next number ranges have been started with the sequence of 101. But if I'm trying to extend, let us assume that now you have posted all the 100 documents under the 01. Let us assume that like this. Now I want to post a new document under the same 01. Now, but the system is not allowing me. Why? Because all the number ranges within the same, all the number range intervals within the same number range have been completed. All the 100 documents you have posted. So if I see here, if I see the status will show as 100 here, the status will show as 100. Now no more documents can be posted. But if I'm trying to extend it for the 200 or 150, the system will not allow for me. Why? Because already the next sequential number after 100 has been started with 101 for that number range 23. Number range 23. So you cannot extend here. So you cannot extend because the system will not allow you to do the extension over here. If no other number range has been started with the sequence of 101 to other number, then you can extend here, sir. Then you can extend up to whatever the next sequential number which has been started with the next number range, up to the limit of that limit you can extend over here. But make sure that there should not be any number range. There should not be any number range which has been started with the next sequential number of previous number range.
Okay, thank you, Mahesh.
Then you will get a doubt. Then you will get a doubt here. Now, what is my doubt here? Then what happens, Mahesh? Okay, you're telling that, okay, you're telling that, so I cannot extend. One second. So there is a doubt here. So, okay. So what happens? So I need to stop the posting of the transaction to this particular number range. If this is the situation, then if you're telling that the next number range has already been started with 101. So if I'm not able to extend this particular series, then what happens? My book of, so my whatever the book I have taken, all the leaflets have been completed. Okay. Now what is the situation for me? Then what I'm telling here, let it be as it is only. Don't do any kind of changes here. Now the current number range, now the current status will show as 100 here. Okay, let me go back now. Now here the current number is showing with 100. Okay, all the 100 documents you have posted now. So what I'm asking here, so these document numbers are already been posted. So this is the audit purpose. So already you cannot reverse the document number. So already it has been got posted. So what I will do here, I just go back. So now here you can see here 01, 03, 02 book is not available. You can see 03, 04, 05, 06 books are not available. Okay, you can see here. So what I will do here, I'll go back. And here I'll change the number range to 02. I'll change the number range to 02 because I'm taking a very new book now for this year. Then for this 02, I'll start the number ranges. For this 02, what I will do here, I'll just create a new one, 02, 2019, and make sure that, okay, 400 to 500, the last number, 9, okay, they have taken up to 950. So I need to start it with 1000, 2. I take it from the 1100. So I need to start it from the next series here. This is what exactly you had to do. Now you're creating now you're assigning a new number range for the document type because already 01, the number range has already been posted. So I cannot do any kind of deletion. So you are creating you're taking a new book. And in that new book, you have leaflets from 1000 to 1100, 100 leaflets are there. Now you can use this book for the posting of the transactions. Clear, sir?
Great, thank you.
So now here, okay, now I'm not doing any kind of changes. So I just created okay, now you can see here, just I extended. And you may also get a doubt here. Hey Mahesh, do one. You just now you told that, okay, because already I have taken the 100 number ranges, already I have completed from 1 to 100, but again you have taken the same 1 to 100 here. Just now you told that you need to start with the next sequential number, but here if I see already 1 to 100 I already have taken, but again you have taken the 1 to 100, the system has accepted. How it has accepted?
Because those are 2 different years.
Yeah, because the fiscal year is completely different. No, sir. Within the same fiscal year, the system will not allow me to do the changes. But here I'm completely changing the fiscal year. So if you're changing the fiscal year, then you have to follow the same sequential numbers for the previous. You can copy or you can create the same thing here. Okay. I hope this makes you very clear. I think all of you. Okay. Now I'm just pressing enter. Let me see whether it is accepted. Now it has accepted. See here. Now it has accepted. Very good. Okay. Now, so I'm procuring this asset with 1 lakh, the value of the asset. So now these are not required because these are the required things for the payment or something like whenever we do the payment. Now I'm writing here asset acquisition. Now you are procuring an asset. Asset has to be debited for you. So what is the debit posting key for asset? 70. Very, very important. 70 is the debit, 75 is the credit. Again, I'm repeating, 70 is the debit, 75 is the credit. So I'm debiting this asset. So which asset you want to procure? If it doesn't know the number, just go to the help. Just now we have procured that asset. So drilling machine. So this is the spinning machine. So this machine I want to acquire. Just now you have created this asset. Now now here you can see here. This is the main asset. Main asset. So value. So you're procuring this asset from the vendor. He's an external, not internal. We are not doing internal. So this transaction type is nothing but asset transaction type. Okay, what type of asset transaction? Whether you're doing the acquisition, you're doing the transfers, you're doing the retirements, or you're doing the additions. How the system knows what type of transactions you're making with this asset. So these transaction types are very, very important. So I'm procuring this asset from the vendor. So external asset acquisition. This is an external. So what is the transaction type? If we go to the search help, these are the transaction type. So these are all the transaction type related to the acquisition. All the 100 series is nothing but the transaction types related to the acquisition. And all the 200 series are nothing but retirement. When you can see here, if you are doing the retirement is nothing but the sale of asset to the customer. Whenever you're doing the same, the retirement will start with the 200. So I'm acquiring this asset from the external. So I had to give this asset acquisition as external asset acquisition with the transaction type 100. Very, very important. Then the system will understand, oh, you are acquiring this asset from the external party. External party is nothing but a vendor. So transaction type 100. Now I'm pressing enter. You cannot post to the asset in the company code for 2019. Okay, let me go and see what the problem here is. Why? You cannot post to asset in company code 5500 fiscal year 2019. Oh my God. Okay, let me see here. Okay, now I need to go to the fiscal year. Which fiscal year they have been assigned here? Why? Because now I need to go and check the fiscal year. SPRO, IMG, financial accounting global settings. Come to the ledgers. Come to the fiscal year and posting period. So here, this is the maintainer of the fiscal year. Now I'm using the company code as a 5500. Let me see which company code they have been assigned to which fiscal year. 5500 has been assigned to which fiscal year vendor. Assign company code to fiscal year variant. 5500. Okay, 5500, they have been assigned to the K4. K4 is nothing but Jan to December. Very good. So there is no issue, there is no problem. Okay, now why the system is giving this error then? Because, okay, now I need to check one more also. Ledgers are already cleared. Now why the system is giving this error then? Because everything is perfectly done, but why the system is giving this error? Now let me go and see now. Okay, now let me close it. Let me start with the starting because I closed everything. Maybe there is some problem in the, okay, so. He is the vendor. So I'm procuring this asset with 1 lakh. 70 is the credit debit. You're debiting this asset. First, let me also go and see. Okay, let me also go and see to the AS03. I'll go to AS03 display of the asset. Why the, okay, 001 2019 and condition calculation date is in future. Why it is in future? 0101 2019 is nothing but it has to show in the past. By why it is showing in the future? Maybe these people have not done any balance carry forward. 1 second. Now, because we are changing the fiscal year from 2018 to 2019 in front of you, I've done everything. Okay. Now, but in asset accounting, now you have to close the previous year and you have to open the current year. Last two fiscal years can be opened and the current year can be opened. Now here we need to do some year-end closing activity, but okay, to open the new fiscal year in asset accounting. So if I go here, see here, accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, periodic processing, fiscal year change is there. So now I need to do the fiscal year change now. Fiscal year change is nothing but, okay, now you have to change from 2018 to 2019. So now before that, I want to see which fiscal year is there. Year-end closings. If I see the AJAB, year-end closing, AJAB, okay, now this is very, okay, now let me do directly here. So I'll go to the environment, current settings. In the current settings already we have done it. So let me see the problematic here. 1 second, sir, 1 second, all of you. Now, 5500, the closed fiscal year is 2017. You can see here, very, very important here. So if I come to, because I have opened the fiscal year and the number ranges I have done in FI, not in asset accounting. But if I go into the asset accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, periodic processing, in the periodic processing, if we come to the year-end closings, in the year-end closing, there is the undo is there. In the undo, if we go for a OAAQ, if I see which fiscal year is opened, okay, this is the close. See here, here you can study the closed fiscal year. For the company code 5500, which fiscal year has been closed? 2017 is closed, so automatically 2018 is in open. 2018 is in open, but I'm doing the transactions in 2019, not in 2018. So what I had to do, I had to close the 2018 also now. I had to close the 2018. How to close this 2018? Directly I should change here? No, don't do anything, direct changes here. Now, just observe here, 5500 2017 was opened, means 17 was closed, means 2018 is open. Now I need to open 2019, means 2018 should be closed here. Now what I will do here, I'll go back. Now in SAP S4 HANA, to do the fiscal year change, now the new transaction, earlier we are using AJRW for the fiscal year change. Now in SAP S4 HANA, because asset accounting is a part of your universal general entry table from today onwards, now the fiscal year open in asset accounting should be done with the balance carry forward. Very, very important. So how to open the new fiscal year? Just come down to FAGL This is the transaction code. Once you do the balance carry forward, you can see the new fiscal year will be open. This has to be done for all the ledgers. Now, accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, periodic processing, fiscal year change. Now, this is the new transaction code. Earlier, we are using AJRW. This is the transaction code. Earlier means I'm supposed to using this transaction code, AJRW. Now, this AJRW is no more available now. If I press enter, the system will give an error. That is the transaction code AJRW is no more available. Why? Because in SAP S4 HANA, now you had to open the new fiscal year by balance carry forward using the transaction code called as FAGL. So double click on it. Very, very important. This is very, 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 very important. Ledger OL, company code, carry forward balance should be 2019 now. Carry forward balance to be 2019. Okay. So before you run, just select the test run, and you have to see the retained earnings. You just select these 3 check boxes. Because I'm putting under the test run, because I'm not directly executing, just I'm putting under the test run. Execute. Test run it is. No change. Correct the following errors and the repeated balance carry forward. What is the no retained earnings account for the P&L account type X is defined for the chart of accounts 5500. Anybody can tell me what is this error? Anybody can tell me what is this error?
You are not set up the retained earnings account in this.
We are not set up the retained earnings account. So what is happening here? If I do the balance carry forward, retained earnings account should be set up here. So if I go to the SPRO, IMG, financial accounting, if you come to the general ledger accounting, come to the master data, come to the GL accounts, preparations. Here, define the retained earnings account. So let me see. So what is your chart of account? Chart of accounts is 5500. Okay. Your chart of accounts is same 5500. Okay, right. So there is no retained earnings account here. How the system will accept that? Because the balance carry forward always should be done through the retained earnings account only. Na? If the retained earnings account is not defined, then how the system will do the balance carry forward? No. So now I need to give the retained earnings account. So for example, I'm just assigning a one retained earnings account manually here. Save it. I'm giving one number. Okay, just I'm giving the retained earnings account from the P&L accounts. Okay, so if I go back, if I see the account groups for my 5500, so I'm just giving the retained earnings account from this particular account group. I'll create afterwards. So, okay, this is the GL accounts. Okay, so retained earnings account has been given. Now I saved it. Now go back. Now let me go back to the execution part. Okay. Now again, I'll just do the refresh. Retained earnings account 1 lakh not created in the company code. Now, who can tell this answer? Just now in front of only I created, I have assigned the retained earnings account as a 1 lakh. The master data.
You created at chart of accounts level only, right?
Okay, now what I have to do, I need to extend here. Now what I have to do, I have to go to the FS00. I had to go to /NFS00 because now the system is asking me, hey Rahul, you have assigned the retained earnings. That is very good, but make sure that retained earnings account is created in the master record. So make sure that retained earnings account you have created here. So this is the retained earnings account. Okay, so I just copied this because this is the same number I assigned. Okay, now I'm creating, click on create. So it will come under the primary cost. Just I'm creating under the general. So I'm writing a retained earnings account. So balances always should be 01. Let me create another. Okay, now YB01 I'm creating. Group account number is mandatory, it seems. Because group chart of account, they have created the group chart of account. So I'll take under the something, okay, because we are creating under the depreciation. So I just want to. Okay, corporate group account number is not defined in the chart of account. These people are not created. Okay, so 1 second. Okay, 1 second, sir. 1 second, because 1 second. This is very good example. You are learning a very good examples. Okay, so okay, I think that okay. So now you're facing a very good live examples over here. So I'll just remove the group chart of accounts for a meanwhile because I just want to maintain with the operational. No, I don't require the group chart of accounts, so I'm removing this from this 5500. Now let me go. Once again, I'll create it from the starting here. I created the account. Now the error which I've got, now I created the account under the company code 5500. Okay, right. Now I'll go back. Okay, I'll go back to my message. Okay, again I'll go back. Now let me see now. Okay, so same thing. No errors now. Okay, now everything is looking fine. Test run was executed successfully without any errors. Okay, you can see these are the balance sheet accounts. These are the balance sheet accounts. You can see here, this is the details of the retained earnings account. So this is the retained earnings account. These are the balances are getting carry forwarded. So you can see here for the next year, that is balance carry forward to the fiscal year 2018. This is the just now we have created the retained earnings account 1 lakh. Okay, everything is looking fine. Absolutely fine now. No errors. I'll remove the test run. I'll remove the test run, select the balance, and I'll execute. This activity you have to done in the year-end closing activity, FAGL GBTR, balance carry forward. Okay, now this has been successfully done. Okay, now go back. Any other ledgers are there? You have to do for all the ledgers, not for one ledger. All the ledgers you have to do, not for one ledger. But now I'm doing. Correct the following. Balance carry for special ledger is not assigned to any specific company code. Okay, right. So this ledger is not assigned to our company code. Let me see E0. Okay, data not found. Very good. No errors are there. N1 is has been assigned because you have to do for all the ledgers, my dear friends. It is not for one ledger or two ledgers. Okay, very good. N1 we have completed. Now I need to go to N2. All the ledgers, because let me see whether, okay, this ledger not assigned to the specified company code. Very good. N2 is not assigned to 5500. I'll go to N3. Let me see. This is also same thing. N3 is not assigned to your company code. Okay, no data. So just remove the test run, execute. S1 we have completed. Now SA last ledger.
That is an extension ledger, right?
Yeah, extension ledger also we have to do, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the ledgers have been completed. No other ledgers are there. Now everything is completed. Now close it. Go to the fiscal year closing. Go to the undo. Now come to OAQ once again back. Come to OAQ once again back. Still it is not opened. Now I need to go to the table now. SE16, go to the table SE16. So what is the table I have to look out for? T093. Very, very important. I'll show the table.
Hey, Mahesh, Prem here.
Prem.
Yeah, for all these transaction codes, ASC 16 and whatever you are typing,
Yeah.
is there any logic for us to quickly remember them?
No, sir.
You
Actually,
can only.
no, there's no logic actually. There is a one logic for posting of all the F5. We are going to be using like F. For the customers, we are using like a V. Like vendors, we are using like a M. So these are the some things.
Yeah.
Control, we are using like a K. So like this we can remember. But if you want to go in depth about each and every transaction code wise, how to remember means we have this will be only get by hearted when you're doing a regular practice. So there is no. There's no
Okay.
logic behind that.
But in certification, they don't ask you for the transaction codes, right?
No. They'll not ask any transactions.
Because you have to otherwise frame them, like you have to memorize them, and that's a huge problem, I guess.
Sir, yeah. See, memorization once you're doing a practice as a daily practice, for example, if I take any real-time consultant, like, okay, they are doing a lot of transactions in the real time, so we can remember all those transactions without any doubt. Okay, but
Yeah, I know. With all these 15 years of experience, I understand you remember all of them. But for exams, I don't think I can remember like 100 T codes, right?
No, you can ask me any kind of transaction code in SAP, not in not in FA module. You can ask any transaction code related to any module. I can give the transaction code, because this is only because of doing the activities, daily activities, so that I can have to, because I have an experience from the past 15 years, so that I can remember that. Yeah, like that.
Okay, thank you.
Now this is the table. T093 is the table. T093 is the table. I have gone to SC90, SC30, SC16. So here I've selected the two depreciation, chart out depreciation and the depreciation area. I mean to say that this is very lucky that, okay, so you people are learning a very new, I mean to say that new errors, okay, that is a very regular errors which we are going to be encountering in a real time also. So this will be very, very helpful. I mean to say that your batch is very lucky, because in the previous batches, we not encountered this kind of errors. So we directly created and we have directly went out with a very smooth, without any errors. But here I'm seeing a lot of errors. So this will be very, very important you to get remembered, because this is the things where you can experience in the real time also. Our system is very, 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 very slow. Not as slow, it is a dead slow. So I'm taking a chart of depreciation 5500. I'm just executing. Here, if we come here, if you just scroll down to the right hand side. Yes, okay. So all the depreciations have been come out. Now let me do one thing. I'll go and I'll put it as a C. T093C. I'll give the company code 5500. Execute. Current year is here. Now it is open. Now you can see here. Now here you can see here. Current fiscal year. Now which year is open now? 2019. You can see here. 2019 is open now. Automatically you can see here. After I do the balance carry forward, you can see here. For which company code? So what is the table you have to see? T093C. So maybe they will ask you in the interview, whenever you're facing an interview, what is the, okay, so you can see here T093C is the table we are going to be using to see whether for my company code, to see whether my company code 5500, which financial year is open. So you can see here, the financial year, which is current fiscal year, which is opened is nothing but 2009. Clear all of you? Prem, Venkat, everybody. Abhilash.
Yep.
Okay, so this is how we had to do here. Okay, and tomorrow we'll do this posting about transaction. Okay, tomorrow we'll do this. Now, if I press enter, now the error has gone. Now the error has gone. Now I'll put it as a star plus. Now before I post it, just I'll go to the document and I will simulate. Now I'll simulate. Now you can see the simulation document here. Now here 31, he is the vendor, and I'm procuring this asset. This is the asset number. You can see 105 is the asset number. This is the recon account. 70 is nothing but, okay. Now here, if we click on this asset accounting, now you can see here OL, okay. So OL, okay. Now if I want to change to the US GAAP, okay, this is the US GAAP, okay, N1. See here. Now you can see all the postings are happening to all the ledgers. Okay, now you can see here asset account. This is the new field. This is the new enhancement which has been done in SAP S. For earlier, we don't have this option here. Now I've gone through everything. Now you can go and save it. Post. So 4 errors we have rectified. Okay, interval 5500. Okay, object is not in one. So tomorrow I'll show this how to do this. Okay, what is that error? Interval 5500 does not exist for the object RFBL 55 in FBN1. Okay, so let me do this now. So what is the transaction code it is giving? FBN1. Okay, FBN1. RF underscore BELEG. Same thing. RF underscore BELEG. For which company code? 5500. Okay, right. So interval 55 does not exist because interval 55 you are created for 2018. Now I'll do that one more time. Okay. So 55 because this is the depreciation actually for asset accounting. For the asset accounting, this is for the controlling. Okay. So 2019, same number range. I'm saving here. Now let me press enter. Save it. Posted. Document 1 was posted in the company code 5500. This is how we had to acquire the asset. Now how to see this document? Go to the document, click on display. Document 1. See, this is the document. You can see the general ledger view. You can see the asset accounting view. All the views are available now. You can see here asset accounting view. You can see the asset accounting view. You can see here. Now, after, see, this is the asset accounting view. See here, this is the asset accounting view because we have 2 ledgers, OL and another one is going to be the US GAAP. You can see all the ledgers. After you come and see here, now I want to go to the asset now. I want to go to the asset because I have procured this asset with 1 lakh INR. So what is how to display the asset? Now I want to see the asset explorer. Asset explorer, accounting, financial accounting, fixed assets, asset AW01N, asset explorer. I want to see this asset. I want to see the value now. AW01N. Now you can see here. See, 01 is the book depreciation, 31 is the local because area to be posted in the real time. We have selected area to be posted in the real time. You can see here area which has been got posted in the real time. You can see here. So these are the 2 areas. Other 2, this is 01 is for the LG and 32 is for the local gap. You can see here local gap and LG. These are both are going to be the local gap. So today 01/01/2019 with 1 lakh. This is the asset transaction 100. We have taken external asset acquisition. We have procured this asset. So now the depreciation. If you do the comparison here, you can. If you click on the comparison, we have taken for 10 years now. See here 10 years. The life of asset we have taken for 10 years. 2019 to 29. You can see here, this is the depreciation which is getting calculated, ordinary depreciation which is getting calculated. So tomorrow we'll see this and we'll post the depreciation. Clear, all of you?
Yep.
So do the practice. So do the practice now.